All right, team, C94, again, a cardio-based workout. That means we're going to increase the cadence and we're going to lower the resistance, increase the range of motion. And again, like, anytime I explain this to you, it's always form first, then range of motion, then load. No matter if it's a resistance day or it's a cardio day or whatever it is. All right, so this workout, we have 10 exercises and we're doing 4 rounds, but that means you have 2 people per exercise. That means we can only fit 20 people into the class once again. And you got to have enough room for 2 people per exercise. All right. First exercise is going to be the jump squat. Now the jump squat, a lot of variations. Everybody knows how to do the jump squat. The whole idea behind the jump squat is the more that you add the arms, instead of just doing something like this, the more you add more body parts to it or more movement, you're going to get the heart rate up. So for a beginner, this is more than adequate right here. Then if they want a little bit more, they just start adding the arms in there. However they want to add the arms, everybody's got their different version. Want a little bit more, then you start adding that hop, or you increase the speed of the squat. Then you add the hop in there, and then it just gets more and more explosive from there. Again, very easy to make extremely hard, and very easy to make extremely easy. Next is going to be the stability plank circles, or stability ball plank circles. So here, all we're doing, again, most people are just going to be on their knees. They're not going to be able to do this on toes. Not very many people, well, not all of our members have that, especially beginners. Again, beginners are the ones that we are catering to, making sure that they're not overdoing it. So stability ball plank circles, all we're doing is rotating from one side to the other. Now, we want a little bit more. First, extend this out, drop the hips. All you have to do is drop those hips to make it harder and get that ball further away from you. Want a little bit more, then you're up on your toes. Now what you're going to see a lot of when you're up on your toes is this, where they're laying on the ball. Well, they're not getting anything out of that. Make sure that their body's off the ball. And again, the further they are over the ball, the easier it is. The further that ball is away from them, the harder this becomes. It can become very challenging, okay, the further you go away. Now, if they can't do that, they can simply do a plank. If they can't even do a plank, have them do crunches. Again, not as good as a plank, but it's certainly better than nothing. Next is the wide mountain climbers. Now, on this one, again, we have the handles. So people with wrist issues have them use the handles. You're coming out wide. That's all you're doing, okay? But you're still trying to get that heel down. Anytime that we have a mountain climber or any type of exercise like that where we can get a calf stretch, try to get that stretch into the calf. There's a reason that we do the exercises we do. Now, for the decondition, super decondition, they are simply here and they're coming out wide. All you're doing is working the muscles a little bit different, and that's why you're coming out wide. Okay, now again, speed it up, but make sure you stress that we want to stress out those calves, because everything we do in here is on the ball of the feet. We want to stretch those calves out so they don't end up rupturing or damaging their calves. Next is we're going to do the side-to-side step tap. Now, I see most people doing the side-to-side step tap like this. This is not a side-to-side step tap. Is that good for the beginner? Absolutely. This is what you want for the beginner. This is a side-to-side step tap. This is also good for maybe a little bit more advanced version for the beginner, okay? But again, what I see a lot of people doing is just this. Well, all right, we're gonna get our heart rate up, but it's not gonna be as much, okay? Side-to-side step tap, you're actually moving from side to side. It's gonna work more lateral movement. Now, if you have knee issues and a lateral movement is a problem, then yes, this is a much better option for them, okay? Again, this can be for the beginner, and as you progress, you just go faster and faster, trying to keep that head level, and trust me, that will get the heart rate up. Next is going to be an active recovery. This is the RIP 60 flutter hold. So first, on this exercise here, anytime we're in a plank position or type of position like that, again, heels to the ground. Why? Because we're going to stretch out our calves. We want to stretch those calves muscles out. Now, the flutter is just back and forth like this. Okay? Again, the further you come out here, anybody can do this. Very beginner can easily do this. They're not getting hardly anything off of here. The further you go back, the harder this is. Now, you really want to make it hard. Feet again, or the heels against the wall, and they stay down, and then you come out and hold it. Much more challenging than simply doing the flutter like this. So a lot of different variations, but if people think it's too easy, just have them hold it. Next is going to be the rubber band rotation, squat with rubber band squat rotation. So here, again, the The rubber bands are what dictate the intensity of this exercise, plus how far you come back here, plus the range of motion, okay? So before you increase the rubber bands, make sure the range of motion is there. What we want is a squat and a full range of motion. That means full, like this. We're not talking this. If that's the case, you probably need to go down a little bit in the rubber bands. Now, you want it to be explosive for the more advanced people, but for the beginner, this is more than enough. Straight arms, though. This is what I see right here. And it makes it easier because your leverage arm is shorter. Try to get them to go out with straight arms first, okay? Form, then, so form, range of motion, load. So if that's not easy enough, or that's too easy, you can increase the load. Then again, what we want is explosive. We're trying to keep our heart rate up here. If you do it explosive, that heart rate will jump through the roof. That is a very hard exercise when it's done right. But range of motion first, loads, form first, range of motion, then load. Next, it's going to be the Bosu burpee. So, Bosu burpee, everybody knows how to do a burpee. Come back narrow, up wide, and for the beginner, this is all they need to do. Okay, and if that's too low for them, they can do it on the rack here. They can simply come over here, come out, up wide. Okay, so they've got options here. Just make sure that that rack is stable and the weights aren't in a position where they're going to fall off. Now, for most people, it's going to be they come back wide or narrow, come up wide, and then they do a regular burpee. Okay, now, again, if they're slowing down too much, because this is our next option right here, but if that slows them down to the point where they're doing something like this, then just have them do a regular burpee. You know, you need to have the hop. The hop is going to be one of the more advanced options there. But ultimately, for the advance, it's going to be just like this, okay? You're just adding more body parts to it. Next is going to be the stability of all V-ups or knee tuck. So for most people, it's going to be simply a knee tuck. They're going to be in this position right here, and they're going to do knee tuck. For those that want a little bit more, V-up. For those that want even more, V-up, push back, V-up. Now, when you do the V-up, again, it is a hamstring stretch. Make sure they stay at the top of that movement for a second or two to get a good hamstring stretch. These are active recoveries here, and we want them to focus on more than just working their core. There's specific reasons why we do this. And again, that one is really more for hamstring stretch than it is for the core, although most people can't do the V-up. Next is going to be the lateral box run. Lateral box run is simply on, off, off, on, off, off. Okay, now the higher the box, the harder it is. You don't need to go too high because that could put them, compromise knee and injury and all that kind of good stuff. But again, on or off, on. Okay, you want to go a little bit more intense, all you do is speed it up. You want to leave it more intense, keep that head level. Last is going to be the medicine ball push press. Again, we're not looking for a lot of weight here. If you need more weight, or if you have some people that want a little bit more weight, then that's fine. But you want form, range of motion first, cadence, then the weight. So here, it's just simply this right here, okay? Again, what we're trying to do is open those hips up, but we got to keep that chest up. So every time you come down, you should be opening the hips up. Want a little bit more? Again, speed it up, add the hop in there. If you need even more than that, then just go to heavier weight. But for the most part, most people can do that. Again, you don't need a lot of weight there. I wouldn't encourage a lot of weight, more of the speed. So for the advanced people that really want to get a little bit more out of that, then they just go a little bit faster, a little bit higher jump. And there is the main circuit. Now, again, team challenges. I want to reiterate that our team challenges need to create relationships and have fun. That is the most important aspects of our team challenges. If we are not doing that, then we are not doing our team challenges properly. I don't care about killing people off. Is it great if we can have fun and create relationships and kill them off? Wonderful. But what's more important, create the relationships, have fun. That's the most important thing of the team challenge. And their team is C94.